What is up, guys? Shouns is here, and I just read this volume of Demon Slayer, and I can say we've seen some things in this volume that we've never seen before. But before I get into it, rip to my man, my favorite character in Goku. We haven't forgot about you yet. I'm waiting for that Infinity Train movie to come out, like the rest of us Demon Slayer fans. But shout out to Rengoku again. And one thing we learned about Rengoku in this volume is that the man became a Ashir just from reading 3 books about flame breathing. So the man was just a genius overall. And another thing that we learned from about sun breathing, people that have sun breathing abilities have a red mark on their head. Now, everyone would think that, okay, Tanjiro has a red mark on his head, so he should be able to do sun breathing. So here I am, all excited, only to figure out that Tanjiro only got his red mark from helping his little brother out, and a piece of furniture fell on his head, so that ruined the mood for me. But I do know we've seen from Volume 8 that if you have the type of earrings that Tanjiro has, those mean sun breathing. So there's still hope. He's the main character. We all know he's going to develop sun breathing abilities later in the volumes. If you guys haven't seen my last review about Demon Slayer, we left off at Volume 9 where we introduced the Sound Pillar, aka Tengen Uzui, and he's the god of flamboyancy, and this dude has such an interesting character. Him, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu were off to the Red Light District to find his wives, and they also believed that an Upper Moon demon was there. Well, they found this demon, an Upper Moon 6 named Daki, with some crazy strong abilities, guys. I love this character right here, Tengen Uzui. His character design and personality is just awesome, and from this volume that we just read, he's immune to poison, guys, so poison can't hurt him, and he's from a family back in the Edo period, a rare family, so he's been through intense training, and the swords that are equipped on his back has the saying Destroyer of Demons on it, so Uzui is just badass. He's known his wives for a long time. He trained them when they were younger to become the Kunoichi that they are. I can praise Uzui all day if I have to. So Tanjiro was fighting Daki from the last volume, and Daki, the Upper Moon 6, she has a robe that's split apart from her that was buried underground, and this piece of robe can absorb people inside of her so they can eat them for later. So this piece of robe came back to Daki, fused back with her, and I knew she had some sort of teleportation ability. As soon as the robe fused back with her, she instantly disappeared. So she has some sort of teleportation ability, and she gets stronger and her hair turns white when the robe fuses back with her, and she starts doing this crazy slashing move that increases the range of her attacks. So Daki's pretty scared right now. Now, as Tanjiro and Daki are fighting, this is where stuff gets intense. As Daki's doing her slashing move that's going everywhere, there's this bystander. You guys know bystanders ruin everything when it comes to any show or movie. A bystander comes, gets their hand cut off, and this makes Tanjiro so hurt. And what hurts even more is that, you know, demons don't care about human lives. So Daki pretty much downgrades and says how human life is so worthless. So this gets Tanjiro so pissed off. Like, I've never seen Tanjiro this angry before. And something interesting that we learn is how Tanjiro and Nezuko are. When they see someone get hurt, someone innocent, they become so furious that they pretty much lose control of themselves, and we see uncharacteristic sides of them. So Tanjiro gets heated, and as he's getting more heated, he's able to do more of his Kagura dance, what makes him more badass. So I really need to see this thing animated, guys. Like, reading it's good and all that, but I just can't wait till I see this stuff animated. The first what the fuck moment I had from reading this volume is that as Tanjiro and Daki are fighting, Daki starts trembling and she sees a mysterious figure, and I'm gonna rewind it back for you guys. In season 1 of Demon Slayer, Muzan was able to share his blood with some of the upper moons. That's why Enmu got so strong. So Daki was trembling and she seen a mysterious figure, and this figure pretty much came from Muzan's memories because Muzan's blood is in her. So this made me so curious. I don't know what this mysterious figure was, but now I'm curious as I read in the later volumes who this mysterious figure was. Muzan's scared of something, guys, so I don't know what he's scared of, but seeing this figure, now I'm completely curious. Tanjiro's anger is just making this guy go off. Like, I'm a huge fan of Tanjiro, so he was doing some things I never seen before, but just as I was getting to the peak of my excitement, when he gets angry and he reaches his limit, the man just dropped to the ground and started coughing. So Tanjiro was pretty much down, and Daki was so close to cutting his head off. Then the next what the fuck moment happened. At first I thought Uzui was gonna help Tanjiro out because he's the Hashira, he's the sound pillar, but nope. The perfect little sister arrives, Nezuko, and this was my favorite part about reading this volume because she's gonna start doing some overpowered things, and her anger matches pretty much what Tanjiro's anger was, but her being a demon, her anger is infinite, and she's such an awesome character. I don't pretty much count. She's too awesome to be considered a demon, guys. She's way too awesome. So Nezuko steps into the fight. She has veins all throughout her body. She's bigger. Her horn is bigger. You know, she looks badass. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was a tiny bit turned on by what I was seeing. All throughout watching the anime of Demon Slayer, Nezuko always had a mouthpiece on while she was a demon. This is the first time that I've seen her spit out the mouthpiece, like she was in complete savage mode. The funny thing about this Nezuko and Daki fight is that Nezuko did the same kick every time with the right leg, and this kick packs a punch. Daki was slicing her up at times, but we learned that Nezuko was able to pretty much use her blood to keep her limbs intact, so her blood can solidify to keep her limbs intact, and if 1 ounce of her blood drops on a demon, they instantly burn up. So it's kind of like, it's not self-regeneration, but this is some overpowered stuff, and Daki was pretty much confused because upper demons can't even do this sort of move. And one thing that caught my attention was that Daki pretty much said this was the demon that Muzan was talking about. So Muzan has some sort of history with the demon side of Nezuko, and that makes me extremely curious. Now, Nezuko being in this form increases her demonization, but again, I see something that I've never seen this girl did before. This girl starts to crave for human blood, and this contradicts everything that Tanjiro defended against her during the Hashira arc, when they had the trial where a demon shouldn't have been working with a demon slayer. So Nezuko goes on a hunger crave, and she goes wild when she sees this innocent bystander like running along. So it's pretty much up to Tanjiro to stop these hunger pains that Nezuko's having right now. And then my man Uzui comes, and this dude comes in with the flamboyancy. When this guy comes in, Daki's head just falls right off. So Uzui's too real, guys. And then like Tanjiro was struggling against Daki, but Uzui's like, there's no way you can be an Upper Moon 6. You're way too weak for that. So Uzui is completely awesome. So Tanjiro is able to pretty much stop Nezuko's hunger pains by singing a song that reminds her of her past. So Nezuko is relaxed now, but she goes back to sleep. Nezuko goes back to sleep, so now it's just pretty much Daki and Uzui. Now, if there's one thing that I learned from reading Demon Slayer with these volumes is that demons just appear out of nowhere. The thing that happened in Volume 8 with Infinity Train, where Ikaza just showed up out of nowhere, a similar situation happens here. A demon pretty much comes out of Daki, and this is a demon known as Gyutaro. If I'm not pronouncing that right, guys, you guys can let me know, but this demon pretty much pops out of Daki, and this is an ugly praying mantis looking demon that has pretty much these 2 sickle weapons on both of his arms. He's kind of similar to Uzui in a way. An interesting thing that we learned about the word Gyutaro is that this is supposed to be a job where someone's persuading someone to come to the red light district. It's supposed to be a job title and not someone's actual name, but this is the demon's name, and we learned that he's Daki's sister, so he likes to stay inside of his sister and stay low key. We learned from the last volume that Daki buried 7 pillars. Well, Gyutaro ate 15 pillars, so this dude must be way stronger than Daki is. Gyutaro has this interesting blood demon art move where he shoots out these flying blood sickles made of blood, and these things go out everywhere where he commands it to, and they won't stop until they make impact. And he can also bring out these blood spears where if they make impact, they blow up. So him and Uzui are just alike when it comes to making things explode on impact, because when we learned from the last volume, Uzui can do the same thing with the 2 swords on his back. With this sound breathing moves, if they touch something, they can pretty much destroy on impact. So Gyutaro and Uzui are just alike. Gyutaro can also poison you if the blood touches you, so this man is dangerous. Gyutaro ends up poisoning Uzui, and I told you guys earlier that Uzui is immune to poison, but this poison's still affecting him somehow, so I'm a little worried, but even in danger, Uzui is badass. He pretty much changes up the style of his fighting by holding his sword on one end, and his 2 swords are connected by chains, so this extends the range of his attacks, and notice how they're not exploding on impact. when he touches one end of the sword. So the man just cares about being flamboyant, and I respect that, you know. Even though he's poisoned, I don't want to see another Hashira die because I started loving Rengoku and then he ends up dying. I don't want to see this happen to Uzui because I'm loving this guy almost just as much as I'm loving my man Rengoku back behind me. Uzui's so awesome that pretty much Tanjiro's trying to help along the fight, but Tanjiro's just holding Uzui back. Like, you know how there's some characters that are so strong, like, you helping out, you're just gonna hold them back. Well, Tanjiro was just pretty much getting in the way, so Tanjiro had to back off for a second and let Uzui do his magic. So pretty much Tanjiro's there and Uzui's there, but then pretty much Inosuke and Zenitsu comes. Sleepy Zenitsu, by the way. This man, Zenitsu always looks sleepy now in this volume, but even though he looks sleepy, the man still looks badass. So Zenitsu is one of my favorite characters in Demon Slayer. The man has a strong care for women, which how gentlemen should be like. So Zenitsu looks pissed, and this is kind of where we leave off, where everyone getting together, and Uzui has a theory that cutting off Daki and Gyutaro's head off at the same time will kill them, because stabbing one of them is not going to do anything because they can go inside of each other and pretty much regenerate. So we leave off with everyone grouping up together. Overall, this was a very great volume. Like, we seen some great character development from this volume, and Nezuko is my MVP for this volume because she did some things that I've never seen before, and she was just going off when she was fighting Daki. You know, Uzui's poison, I really don't want to see him die. So the next volume I plan on reading is pretty much volume 11. I'm curious what happens here, and I'm interested to know the memories that Daki's seen when she's seen Tanjiro's anger. Like, who's that mysterious figure? I want to know more about Muzan's memories and what those means. What those mean in regards to Tanjiro and Nezuko, guys. So that was my review of Volume 10 of Demon Slayer. This was an amazing volume, and if you guys aren't reading Demon Slayer, I highly recommend it. I know we're going to be getting the Infinity Train movie later this year, so that's going to be awesome, but great volume, guys. That was my review, and peace.